the intro.
Okay, we're here. Right.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Off the Deep End. I'm here again with Ivan Teller. Ivan Teller has his YouTube channel called Ivan Teller and a website, ivanteller.com. You can stuff, and you can also subscribe to his bi-weekly webinar where he channels aliens, and you can ask them some questions that you want to know about anything, pretty much. So without further ado, welcome, Ivan.
Oh, greetings.
Greetings.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
Saturday.
Yeah, happy cold for Florida.
Florida, yeah.
Yeah, for everybody else, they're on below zero and
yeah, sucks to be them.
Yeah.
Negative, whatever,
That's all right. Well,
we'll hope that the source is with them.
Yeah, we'll send the source to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll send you guys some heaters.
Some heaters, yeah. Energetic heaters.
So, yeah.
What do you think about that Fort Lauderdale situation?
Yeah, it does seem like it was mind control that was involved.
Yeah.
Elite mind control.
Yes. On the individual who did the shooting.
It feels that way, yeah.
Like it was like planned, or like he was.
So.
That's very interesting.
Something like that. Well, I think they have a lot of them they're messing with. And they're just hoping for one to lose it. So, I don't know how it's going to go down, but who knows? Who knows the full detail? It does feel like, I know they're talking about the Russian hacking right now. I do still feel that is, I don't feel it's Russia that had anything to do with it, but just playing politics, that's all, what it seems.
That's very interesting. Did you hear about what happened over the weekend with Bill Clinton?
I'm not sure. Is that the hacking thing? No, I don't know about it.
Apparently, he got in a fight with an alien over Hillary, and he got a black eye.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Somebody sent me a meme.
I think that's an old one. I think that's an old, from the National Enquirer.
Oh, yeah, it's very interesting.
National Enquirer. I think it was a National Enquirer about Hillary having, or Bill Clinton, was it Hillary having an affair with an alien? So, yeah.
That fake news.
You never know. I think it might be
true. Old fake news, too. That was old fake news,
that was
too.
Old fake news, yeah.
Yeah, they make a big deal about it then, Now you talk about pizza and kids, and it's...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's fake news.
That's what the major networks are for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It is fake news. They're just trying to show themselves as real news, so...
Yeah, exactly. Depending on what benefits them the most, or benefits whoever the most.
It's all corporate ran. I mean, what do you think? Disney's going to start reporting negative stuff about themselves on ABC? No, they're not going
to. There's all of the networks are owned by, I think, what is it? Ultimately, like one company, like.
Well, yeah.
Or there's or five, and.
ABC is Disney. NBC is Universal. Comcast. Some people love Comcast, some people don't. So, propaganda. Yeah, if you look it up, Fox is owned by, Fox. The Fox News Channel. So that's not the.
I used to like watching Fox, not the news, but they had some good shows. Yeah. So those were the days.
Yeah.
Is The Simpsons still on?
Yeah, I think it's on for, that's going to be on to her dead, probably.
Oh, my gosh.
What it seems like.
All you got to do is watch The Simpsons to know what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, still nothing beats the old 1990s Simpsons. That was the better.
Yeah. Yeah, like this. Yeah, if you look back at some of those shows, you'll just see like stuff that's going on today, like whatchamacallit, like GMOs.
Yeah, that and Trump becoming president. That was an episode, or at least a little bit.
Yeah, Trump. Yeah, exactly. I found it like a side by side of,
Yeah,
Trump coming down the escalators, and it's like, that was interesting. And and there's like some guy holding up a sign that says paid or whatever. So,
yeah,
but I hear that there's just like a lot of like shifts as far as like the possibility of
yeah,
what could happen and things like that. So,
yeah.
well, I hope that for America
Mm.
or the world, I guess, this is gonna be a somewhat positive outcome.
We'll find out, won't we?
I'm rooting for less, just less, slightly less sucky.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Right now, it's not looking too good. It's all gloom and doom right now. So.
Yeah, but he's not even in office yet,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we'll see. They're just trying to make it that way. They want to just, you
Make it as
know,
difficult as possible.
make it, yeah, just turn the country against him, and so
I feel like it was
there's
good.
less progress.
It was good for Trump to go through this. It feels like he needs to go through it.
Hmm.
So, he's had it too good for a long time. It seems.
Yeah,
Spending
he
other
needs,
people's money.
yeah, he needs a real challenge.
Yeah. Well, he's got it. So. Oh yeah.
When you say spending other people's money, what are you referring to? I mean, like, I know he's like it, you know,
Well, people invest
supposedly,
money.
uh-huh.
With
Oh, okay.
ideas and they lose their money and stuff from it. Like
Oh, yeah.
Atlantic City is a big,
Uh-huh.
like Wyndham. I think it was Wyndham that put an
Yeah.
investment and lost like all their money, 100 million or something like that, from a Trump
Oh, okay.
investment. I
Hmm.
think it was Trump Tower, then the Wyndham took over. I
Yeah.
think that's how it went, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it was perfect. Jeez. So anyway,
Yeah.
um, what is the benefits of being born into money?
Hmm.
Stick where the money is coming from and show everybody how a bad businessman you are by doing it. It's not that easy to make it in the world, that's for sure.
No, it's they say that it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get back up.
Yeah.
And just like, I guess, just learn from your mistakes and just dust yourself off and move on and try things a different way. You know, I mean, I think it's not any better. Him losing people's money is not any better than us continuously paying the government so that they can squander our money or misappropriate it.
Yep. Well, it's gonna be interesting when he gets in. See how
We'll
things go.
see.
So
Any predictions
well yeah, the,
for the short term?
well yeah, it's what we're gonna connect to. Yeah, it could be connect to about Illuminati update, it seems, and
Yeah.
it can be predictions also.
Okay.
And then Julius, or whatever his name is, Assange's Higherself.
Sounds good.
So, all right, I believe I know who's going to come through. I believe the Essassani is going to come through. So, from Gathering. So,
Yay.
something to say about it. So, it does. We affect other realities, obviously, other civilizations that we're not aware of. So, interesting. So, all right, okay. Very much love and
Much love.
yeah.
See you on the other side.
Yeah, may the source be with you. Yeah.
May the source be with you. Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Greetings. This is
Greetings.
greetings. This is Nemo with this Essassani raises blessings to your society and all of your directions you are going. Your new timelines have been formed recently. Greetings, Art.
Welcome, Nina.
Thank you for allowing us to be part of this connection. It is part of our transition. As you transition, we transition with you. What goes with you goes with us. At this time, we do see your society, your Illuminati energies at this time going into more of a phase of disclosure of their own into your society. Baked into your society is already their symbolisms, but we do believe many of the members will start coming out. Some of them might be whistleblowers, of high possibility of the negative version of your Illuminati, possibly your positive, most likely your negative, as some are start to begin to flee the Illuminati energies. As for it will be caught up in the media, it's hard to say at this time. It is a high possibility, but that can shift constantly as many are bailing and wish to let others know. This can be also part of propaganda on their part, but it's also part of an awakening. This is all up in the air at this time, but it's a high possibility, but still it has not happened yet, basically. Judging by the energies of your society, we do see it shifting into more of an awakening process. But also realize these whistleblowers is another way, attempt to bring fear into your society to keep it in its state of mind. So I'm necessarily not going to say they're of the elite system, but they will have another title, most likely, where you can put your, put it together as for where they're coming from. Some of the oil companies, I believe some of them already made themselves aware that they were just happy of your, I believe it was Rockefeller family, but there also be other members of these elite families coming, whistleblowing to a certain degree, but remember that's not all entirely beneficial for your society, possibly depending on their belief systems if they change of heart. But we do see them more coming into your reality eventually in the next couple of years, as they wish to keep your planet under their control. So why not come forward and make their move? As for any other predictions other than that, this Illuminati update, also the positive Illuminati is very much bankrolling in a positive way, bringing more of a positive energy. As for health and wellness within the poor, your government is a way of using it for that way to assist with those that are homeless. So they're going to continue that energy, increase their energies, believe in the next few years. As for assisting humanity, that's because of job loss, because unfortunately there is a job loss energy going through your world that possibly of a major catastrophe, not to say that your government, your economy will go down fully, but we do see it, a job loss, and other than that, it's still possible. At this time, your Yahoo is not looking good. It does not look too good at this moment, just to give you an example.
I was just going to say that.
Yes, that is one that is not in dire strait at this time. If it is purchased, you see many losing their jobs. Possibly. That is all impossible timelines at this moment. But not entirely there, but that is one of the main sources. Also, one moment. Yes, the great governmental shift going on at this time. As for the source of your, one moment. This Russia hacking is most likely just to confuse your Americans on who to trust, and also trusting. It is testing your American belief systems, as it's not fully connecting to its spiritual self. So it's easy to be maneuvered into a false reality as is being brought into your reality. I just see a false timeline is being brought into your society as for the Russian hacking. And your government has done this, and your media works together to do this. So it's not your government makes the word, your media pushes out the agenda, as you can tell. As for if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Yes, I have a question just with regards to the whistleblowing by the Illuminati.
Yes.
Do you see any of this being just put forth on a grand scale at all in the media?
Possibly. It's a high possibility. It is we are unaware of it happening, but it is a timeline. All of these are possible timelines that can be brought into your reality. Realize also there's many shifts of awakening that's going on. Yes, your reptilians are going through the negative reptilian energy. The hierarchy of the negative reptilian, that is part of your Illuminati, is going through an inner turmoil crisis at this time. Of course, they would shrug it off and say that's not true, but that is not judging by their energy. It's hard to hide something like that as they feel like they are losing control over this world. As for you see, most of humanity is still under their spell, but they never realize it's not going to happen forever. Eventually, your humanity will be part of the awakening process. All members of your world, even if they choose a negative energy, they are aware of their controllers. Possibly. Well, we do see it eventually, yes. As for what year and time is up to your society at this moment.
So I want to discuss the Straw Man Act, which basically has been enacted since 1933. And apparently there's proof out there saying, I guess, that our birth certificate is a bond. And there's a lot of information out there on how to get the U.S. Treasury to basically pay your debt or collect on the bond that the government has on you that we're not aware of, because apparently we're chattel according to this Strawman Act. How soon do you think that people are going to start waking up to the fact how powerful they are in this regard? Because this is just like one more thing, this is just one more thing that the government's doing that not everybody knows about, Well, most people don't know about.
It all depends on your human consciousness. Would you see 10 to 30 years as for a transitional phase? Mm-hmm. Most of your Americans are not, or humans for that matter, are not ready for this transition. As much as their density is of harshness, it still has many lessons to be learned that many have not learned yet. So the process will begin, believe in 10 years, possibly 30, it's hard to say. But how influential this energy will be in your society is up to your humanity because of its free will. That's all we can give out for that at this time.
Well, that sounds better than never. It's a shorter window than I would have expected.
It is a dot. Yes, it is a dot in a very large picture. Mm-hmm. And you have to be ready for this. Many are taught to say, oh, that's unbelievable. That's not real. Mm-hmm. You are living in the fiction that you see on your television. You put it as fiction as a way for you just to believe it when you hear it. This is done in a perfect way. And your humanity is still under its control, as you can see.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate because I'm learning so much just within the last month regarding not only the Strawman Act, but the illegal government that's supposedly been around for a long time. Yes. And, just other little things that, I'm learning, for example, that the federal government operates on maritime law. So, and really they have no jurisdiction at all. The jurisdictions that we allow.
Yes. Well, they count on your Americans not being aware or not willing to be aware. So they have you under their control. We do see this eventually lifting up, losing its power, but it'd be some time for it to fully lose its power, as many are part of the system, part of the movie called Your Reality. Third density TV reality. The fourth density reality, the television show, is
Mm-hmm.
one that's been calling out to you for some time. But now they are you can say the volume has been, they volumed up their dimension to now, as you can see, connecting to you at this time. It has been done trickling here and there, but now there's more channels and more for you to watch, as you can see.
Yeah, I like how a lot of more people are watching YouTube or UsTube
Yes.
than they are watching like the television.
Yes, but this is more from the heart. It's not
Yes.
manufactured corporate
Yeah.
system. Of course, you have your human that's been a child of the manufactured system, as you can see, as they play with toys and put makeup on all day, which is nothing wrong with that. They're still part of the system, the manufactured human.
Yes, because they're taught that they must buy this toy
Exactly.
or
Yes.
wear this makeup and they must, buy these clothes in order to be part of
fit in.
society or
Yes.
fit in.
Yes. How else would you
Consumerism.
Yes. How else would you be a part of a human race if you're not doing what other humans are told to do?
Mm-hmm.
This is where depression and anxiety comes from, because I feel this is not correct. And it is true. It is not.
Mm-hmm.
As your Americans and humans, but it seems like when the Americans finally wake up, the rest of the world will wake up following. Of course, many of them are wake up across the world.
Yeah.
But your America still has a big issue. It's the most controlled country on your planet, more than your China.
Yeah, it's very interesting because we're the most controlled and most asleep, but we're the most influential.
Yes. And by design, but you say your China is the most controlled, you might want to look again at your America and see yes, the illusion of freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as you speak your mind, the military shows up. Especially if you are a Native American on land that has much valuable oil.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever American has to take. So what is going on in your society at this time is for you to awaken whenever the time is right for you. But not to feel rushed, but it is your time. Yes, many will call alien connection crazy and all of this crazy. But as part, that was all done by design to keep you asleep, as you can see. And it's been done very well, as you can tell. And awakening from the unbelievable connections is very difficult for one to go into a higher density of thinking and realize your earth is part of a laboratory at this time. But as a experiment, yes. But all experiments must come to an end, at least in this dimension. And third dimensional experiment is coming to an end, is dwindling down, as you can see. And your elites know it. And yes, they are living their life. They can do whatever they want. And the last thing they want is your human society to do the same. They like their country club. They don't want to invite new members.
Yes, I see that. I was wondering if you could discuss for our listeners about this remote viewing program.
Yes.
Who's involved, and how do I understand a lot of people who are involved? They're unwitting to the fact that they're involved, and they're unwitting to the fact that they're involved. How do they go about accessing these people without their knowledge?
Well, at this time, your CIA is very much part of the remote viewing society. At least they're not publicly, but your public sector is your CIA, and they're very much involved. As for them manipulating energies, as for remote viewing, they do it all the time. They have remote viewers on staff, and they connect to your human, the ones that they feel they can connect to, in a way that they can absorb energy, information from. And they do it to those unwillingly, of course, called your humanity, called your Americans, but it's also those in power. They remote view those all the time. Those who are in your power across your world, your Germany chancellor, your Putin, I believe your Russian Putin has put up barriers around where that cannot happen, where he has a lot of positive ETs around him at this time. Yes, he's not a perfect person, but he does have a positive influence around. Also, your America does too. Where there is a negative influence of your America, of course, because they set the rules of your world agenda. So there's, of course, going to be a little bit of both positive and negative on your America. Because this is the policeman of the world, yes. A dictator of the world, more like it.
Well said.
Yes.
Well, outside of like government or the politicians or I guess government personnel that are somewhere up in the ladder, how do they go about like choosing the people they use to remote view, at least the ones that do this without their knowledge? Like what is the type? What do they look for? And what kind of programming do they go to in order to carry this stuff out?
Mostly it's done by children. Mostly done by abductions. What you call your sex trafficking is very much involved with that. They find psychic children there and treat them like slaves. Sometimes they treat them very well. It depends on their DNA. Some are part of your elite system that are born in your elite system that are the lower echelon, like Rockefeller, DuPont. They have members of their family, those of college, that are a part of the elite schools that get indoctrinated into this because of their DNA, and also that they pass many tests that they will be a good soldier of manipulation. As they've been manipulated, as long as they get a good paycheck and treated well, they will do whatever they can. There are also those within your sex trafficking that are involved with it. Also, some of those are the most powerful. It depends. But of course, they're the ones that are the most tortured, and they usually dispose of them quite early. They keep them around as long as they can keep them, and then they get rid of them. There's different versions of this across your world. Your America has bases across your world. What do you think they do in those bases? They just stand around and look at things. They are remote viewing in some of those bases across your planet. You're American. And of course, other countries do it also. Well, your America seems to be at this time the most powerful part of your Black Project system. Your CIA is pretty much your Black Project. It is a public version, but how much do you truly know of your CIA? Not much. And also your FBI. Your CIA is mostly your Black Project system.
Yes, very interesting. Why do we need so many darn intelligence agencies?
Yes, how about that? Why do you need all this military to fight on a small group of terrorists? How odd. And how odd how the terrorist groups, ISIS, is so powerful at this time because your America is waiting on the sidelines. They're not wanting to fully do it. You need a boogeyman for your society, and it's working out quite well at this time.
Yeah, that's true. Whether it be the Red Scare or Russia back during the 50s, or the Viet Cong, or the Taliban, or Osama bin Laden. ISIS, just another one. Al Qaeda.
At this time, well, there's another being that wants to speak.
Okay.
The higher self energy. That's all we have for you at the moment. We can't give you the full future. It's best for you to live it. It will help you get through it.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, remember to connect to your positive energies. You realize you're not alone in the universe, that your world is, yes, an experimental system. While many beings are here at this time monitoring you. And not to be afraid to connect to them, or at least to awaken that they are there. So much love to you. Take care, humanity. There is another being that will come through shortly. Much love.
Much love to you. Thank you.
Greetings. I was called Assange's higher self. Many blessings to you for allowing us to connect. Yes.
I'm sorry, my mic was off. Blessings to you and thank you for being here.
Thank you. A little bit about what is going on with Assange. Realize he is not a perfect man, but trying to bring peace across the world. He is very much a Pleiadian energy that was brought to your world to unlock the secrets of your planet. The secrets of your world, what he is allowed to access. But of course, he would access everything if it was possible. Many of your black projects have been published in those leaks, but most of it has been ignored or not understood. Most of it is most likely not understood because it's not all, the full picture is not there. But the idea of his place is to unlock the histories of your world, the manipulations, the corruption. As yes, he is not corrupt as you might think. He is not a perfect man, but the idea is to bring more honesty into your world using the media, as the media has not shown honesty throughout its time. It is to pressure the media to transform itself into more of a positive entity. But yes, he must do much negative to do it, because it feels like it's the only way. Fight fire with fire. That's pretty much what's going on. And he feels like his news outlet is more honest than the one that you have on your television set at this time. If you have any questions.
Yes, I understand that there's a blockade of the Ecuadorian embassy, and that blockade is done by both English and American personnel as well.
Yes, there's
and
also Russian there also.
Russian as well. Can you please tell our viewers why this is, if he hasn't been charged with anything?
One moment. Why he has not been charged is because he's well protected. Right now, also, the Russian embassy is protecting him because we're more than likely to take him if the Ecuadorian can no longer do it. They're more than likely to watch over him. They have a strong influence around him, yes, of protection, because they want no harm to come to him, as your America, as this time is seen as more of the villain, and your America is seen as more of the saint. It depends on what direction you want to look at. At this time, it is confusing Americans into an unpeaceful way of looking at things. Your media is not helping with a peaceful world now, is it? It is not intended to at this time.
It's intended to just keep our vibration low, yes, and be in fear and just, yes, impose whatever, I guess, yes, whatever triggers or programs that they want to put on us, yes, so that we can react in certain ways.
If you believe it or not, it does not matter, as long as your vibration is very low, where they can manipulate you to buy their products and to keep you under their spell. You do see many of it, yes, it is true, many on your YouTube that are part of the human project that have been indoctrinated by it. Some are positive, some are very negative. They're still part of, and those that are breaking from the system, as you see what's going on with your channeling right now. Because there's more going on, even your hackers of your anonymous are breaking the system. Many are of the positive. Yes, they might do some negative, but it is to bring positive into your world. So many of your hackers are breaking the system right now. Your anonymous has many good, but also many foes, but mostly good, as we see.
Do you see any of them, that group, being infiltrated at all?
Anonymous, they are always infiltrated. Yes, they know. They are aware. They are well aware of the government spies, CIA, FBI, and shadow government. Yes, it happens all the time. They know what to look for, and some do get caught, but not all. But they don't put in your. They do not arrest them. They just want to manipulate. They want to know what they're up to, basically. Without arresting anyone. They want full control of their hacker system. Your America, your Illuminati system wants full control. If I make that understandable.
I understand that the spiritual community is being been infiltrated. Well, there's religion is one thing. You know, I'm pretty sure the Illuminati is heavily all over that.
Yes.
But the spiritual and slash awakening community, I understand that that's being infiltrated to, I guess, cause some confusions and just kind of, I guess, pull people into like a negative direction of some sort somehow.
Yes, it is brought into the truth is being altered. These beings wish to keep you away from channeling, and also from your higher needs. So they're not connected with channeling with your aliens. If they do, mostly they stay away from that at this time. But the healing centers is where they do most of their manipulation at this time with healers at this time. But they can do it from a distance as for the manipulation.
Yeah, for the manipulation of our society. And this kind of goes back to not only the remote viewing, these people who are MK Ultra. I know that there's some that are maybe consciously experiencing these things, but you know, we as a society are experiencing these things, whether we know it or not. Like, about what percentage of us do you think have alternate personalities?
Everyone has an alternative personality to some degree, yes. Some don't use it, some do. It depends on your workflow on your planet.
How many percentage do you think have alternate personalities that are being used and controlled by the shadow government?
5%, which is quite a large number, actually.
Oh, I was going to say, oh, okay, just 5%.
It is actually.
We think the Illuminati is 1%, and you see all the damage they're doing. I guess yes. 5% is a lot.
Yes. The pressures they're bringing into your society is to keep you under control. They use these manipulations. Some of those are schizophrenic that hear energies that seems like is somewhat an operator working in a control room is very much real. You're hearing your government work. And of course, no one believes them, as they are. At one time, these individuals that hear this, well, obviously they chose it in their chart, but also they were once members of your elite system to some degree. And now they're here to help others expose them by hearing what they do. It is a self-sacrifice in some regard. Let humanity know of your Earth's manipulation.
That's very interesting.
Yes, and some of you that are born with schizophrenia family members, you realize is another way for you to realize what's truly going on in your world. Most will dismiss it and think you're just making it all up. That's far from the truth. They're not making it up. Their minds have been manipulated, but it's also to bring about also a healing across your world that has not been done properly. In some ways it has. So, but those that are hearing these voices are part of the advanced version of MK Ultra that is happening at this time. And
they would be advanced. Why? Because they're aware of the voices, yes. The control room.
Yes, it is. They're part of the advanced version of MK Ultra. The person that's going through it want to expose it, but also want to be controlled by it. Not all are controlled by it, as you can see. Some resist. And of course, by resisting, you feel much pain.
That's very interesting. So actually hear stuff sometimes, but it's not that strong. I figure that's just like, I don't know, just picking up on the ET activity.
You are hearing the ET activity. It's a little bit different than having a government implant in your head that is unlikely to be ever removed.
Yeah. Darn it. So, okay, so if somebody did try to remove them, how successful would they be? Would they just dull it or deactivate it?
They can deactivate, but having it removed is unlikely possible. They can deactivate it, yes, but unlikely they will ever do that. Why do that? They're having too much fun with it activated. A mind is a very difficult thing to connect to. Mm-hmm. To being prepared, to bring repair. A brain surgeon wouldn't know what to remove for the most part, what part of the brain where it's happening. Unlikely.
Yeah, and then without it affecting other parts of the brain.
Yes.
Or, as a result, other parts of the body.
That was done by design, a project done in the 1950s to improve this technology. Your human technology was brought to by the reptilians, perfected, and to brainwash your humanity. There's always schizophrenia, but it wasn't to this degree. It is now more government. In the past, it's been demons and dark entities done by reptilian energies and other nefarious energies. And some of it is part of your elite system. Yes, not all.
So what can humanity do with all of this information? Let's say if they're listening to the show and they're just coming upon like this conversation and they're on their path to discovery. Like what would you recommend they do with this information?
You find happiness within yourself. To make your own rules for your life, what you want in your reality and what you do not want. If you do not want your government system running your life, you can put that in your system, in your timeline. Follow your heart. Your son just following his heart and using his talents. And you can do the same. You don't have to save the world, but most likely save yourself. You save yourself from manipulations done by these beings that live underground. Many of them do live underground that are causing much mischief in your world today. Mostly underground, not underwater. Some are underwater, but mostly it's under your ground.
Yeah, I imagine it's kind of tough to do the underwater bases.
For humans, it is not impossible, but most likely it's easier to be underground than underwater at this time.
I see. Do you have anything else that you would like to share with humanity?
Yes, your humanity is going through a great change of events. This year is going to be a disruptive one, as they're not going to make it easy for your Donald Trump to be in office. They're going to try and take him out of power any chance they can. You're already seeing it now. They're going to continue that energy. They do not want him there, the negative elites. Of course, the negative want someone to beat on, so they're enjoying that rapidly. But also to make it seem like they want to get rid of him, but they want to tire him out so much where he can't even think. And understand you will not be the same person, and 4 years from now, your Trump will be a totally different person because of all the manipulations and depression you'll be going through as for constant bombardment from everyone that do not want him there.
That's very tough.
Yes, not to say it will not be successful in his positive transition, but realize how many of your entertainment do not want him there because they're part of much, not all, but a good amount is part of the elite brainwashing system. It's done very well. And it's done well in your political corners, all corners of your globe. They have done excellent. And now they're just using fear to shut down this one's rival.
Do you have any comments on this Pizzagate business and as a result of fake news?
Do not see it as fake news. Some of it has been glorified, unfortunately, to bring in attention, but none of it is gory at all. But yes, there is a lot of darkness within your Hillary Clinton, and those within the cabinet of Democrat and also Republican. But with her, there is a lot of darkness that she does not want anyone to know. This Anunnaki energy around her is like one of the most sophisticated mind manipulators that your planet has ever seen. As you can tell, how she still has loved ones around her, even no matter what kind of mistake she makes. But not enough to keep her in office, but enough still to keep. She is in many ways a dictator of her in her own right, where she has like a religious following, as you can see.
Yeah, regardless of how appealing she is, because appealing and transformative she's not. I think that manipulative and the fact she's got like this entourage behind, a machine behind her to basically that has ensured her success, at least, you know, this time around, being the nominee for the DNC.
The likelihood of her winning was very high, but your elite system of the positive Illuminati had first dibs on the winner. Were only allowed to put in their own person, not to say it was perfect. It was there to bring much change and transition. You can say they won a bet, as they were bombarding each other, but they finally get their chance in the limelight. But also they're working among him to bring much change within those in the poverty sectors of your United States to bring more money into their pockets. As the world is not ready to let go of the money system yet, it is too much part of the manipulating control patterns. We do see eventually leaving your Earth, but not as soon as some might. The Earth is not ready for that type of transition yet.
Yeah, we're so used to, you know, the money system and.
Yes, you're ready. Like you're so used to being a slave, basically.
Yeah.
A glorified slave, a slave of luxury goods from your department stores. That's your founding fathers were not, but they were part of it also. But they never thought it would go to this degree. But they were well aware of the controllers also, more now than ever, on releasing America from the darkness and also the rest of the world. So your founding fathers at this time are assisting by bringing more of a positive energy. So you can thank them also for your Trump win, because they've seen enough darkness and they've had enough. So their energy is at your White House right now. Of course, they do argue. They don't always agree with everything. But they're, yes, they are. I did not hear that. What was that?
Who is the most vocal amongst the founding fathers?
George Washington is the most vocal, always, ever since his leaving. He's always been the most vocal. He would never leave. In some ways, there are presidents before him, but still, in the United States, he's still the one that, yes, he feels like he has an obligation. It's like this country is a lover that he will never let go of. But the others, of course, your Jackson, your Jefferson are very, but his Washington's still the strongest energy there.
No.
And he also says he wished he could free the slaves, but that was not his agenda. It was impossible for him to do it at that time, but he would have been more than happy to do so. But the time was not right for it. But of course, freeing the slaves wasn't exactly freeing the slaves in your time. Of course, if it was freeing the slaves, you would not have your money system.
Yeah, freeing the slaves now is just freeing everybody from the money systems and all of the controls that are going on.
We do see in the next year as Assange will go through many challenges, attempts on his life will be made and made publicly, we do believe, possibly. as some are getting tired of his nagging the system. Of course, that's already been done quietly, but for the most part, and then we're not seeing success in that part. But we do see Assange actually strengthening his abilities as for the leaks, as they're going to get more interesting in this year, as they already have been, and they will increase themselves because the shadow government energy will start coming through those leaks. Possibly understood is hard to say at this time.
Do you have any comments on the Panama Papers?
Yes, that was an inside job. Some did not receive payment as they'd like to be paid off to keep those things quiet, so they made it public. They were threatening many times to make it public, and others would not pay off, so they made it public. They feel like they were, the ones that made it public felt like they have been left out of the elite system.
That's interesting how it's imploding from within.
Yes. And there will be more to come. Now, we do not see that exactly, but something similar in your next year, possibly.
Oh, that's interesting. And what do you think of this recent shooting in Fort Lauderdale Airport? That was weird.
That was seen to come. That was already foreseen as a possible hit before your inauguration, also the warrior vibrations. And many more is also seen before that time of your inauguration. It's possible. Not exactly the same effort as that's done, but of course your Turkey has been attacked constantly and not really getting much news feed. We've seen your America's mentioned and then easily forgotten.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So this is something that happens all, but your America, yes, we do see it be protected for the most part. We'll also see it going through many tests. We don't see another shooting for some time. But we do see your ISIS energy becoming a little bit more complicated as their numbers will increase in your America, but as for another attack anytime soon, we're not seeing it.
Well, that's good. Do you see a bigger upbuild of the Department of Homeland Security and all of these NATO activities in these camps? Do you see any, as a result, for example, of this shooting, more restrictions, more airport restrictions from the TSA?
Possibly. Your Homeland Security will have more security, yes. Your airports would turn into prisons, basically, yes.
So nobody's going to ever want to go anywhere?
Possibly they'll have security as you enter the airport instead of entering the plane. They'll have security. It's a high possibility of that, yes. As no weapon can be brought into without it being checked in. Because there's many vulnerabilities as your security is already aware of. So there's a high possibility of that happening.
I thought it was really interesting because from what I understand that this man got the pistol out of his luggage and supposedly loaded the pistol or something in the bathroom and then went to shoot it. So then one would think that luggage had to go through the baggage checks at some point, and that the pistol should have been picked up and identified at some point, and he should have been questioned about, why he's got this gun and where is his, license or permit to carry it or put it in his luggage.
Yes.
Strange.
Yes, we don't have all the data on that this time, but we do see more restrictions around your airports coming soon. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Do you have any messages for Julian Assange, or are you guys is he pretty connected to you?
Only that you might see some of this as rubbish because he's not fully connected spiritually, but there's a possibility of him allowing this into his energy field. He is at this time still not sure of the spiritual connections, but the door is open in his mind of a possibility of this. Yes.
Oh, that's great. So do you think it'd be a good idea if I forward this onto his Twitter feed or something like that?
That would be fine. I
Okay.
don't see it harming anything.
Yeah.
To all of you, our message is to just be yourself, not let others manipulate you. To find the time to care for what your belief systems are, no matter what they are. But to have a positive outlook would be sufficient, but if you feel like it is not needed, live how you feel like you need to live. That is basic. Of course, there is much going on that you not see in your dimension. That would bring much help and awareness, as a fourth density is constantly, yes, manipulating your timelines. Your humanity will eventually know of the entities, alien, spirit that is around you. It will become part of your culture eventually. These are the early stages of it. That's all.
Well, we're looking forward to that.
Yes.
Thank you very
Blessings.
much for your time.
Blessings to you.
I look forward to speaking with you again.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. I'll be more than happy to connect.
That would be amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Much blessings.
Hello, greetings.
Welcome back.
Hope it went well.
Yeah, it went really well. Very informative. Julian Assange's Higherself is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it should be good to hear.
I guess he gave the okay to, I guess hashtag this or whatever to Julian Assange's Twitter feed.
Yeah, see how that goes.
Well, he says that he's not sure about this, not really connected to the spiritual bit, but the door is slightly open, so
yeah,
it couldn't hurt. He said it wouldn't hurt anything. So we'll see what happens.
See what happens. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. You get a laugh out of it at least.
We'll know that he has allies.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how many in the media connect to their higher self.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't even know your higher self even exists.
So, like, what's a higher self? Yeah. There's nobody better than me.
Yeah. So, all right. Is there anything else?
Well,
I just want to say, yeah, if you want to find Ivan Teller, just go to ivanteller.com. We have a webinar twice a week. We have also a mobile. Yeah, mobile. We also have a mobile app. T-shirts. Yeah, we got it all. Yeah. Just go somewhere and type Ivan Teller to find everything. So,
yeah.
On YouTube for the most part. I do the Twitter thing that much. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm working on like a mini movie. It's like a 6-minute movie about alien awakeness. That takes me like a minute. It takes me like 2 hours to do a minute, so it should be interesting. So I might have it done by the end of the month. Hopefully sooner than that. So anyway.
Well, looking forward to it, Ivan. Thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you to my listeners for listening to another edition of Off the Deep End. See you soon.
All right, much love, everyone.